Welcome back, everybody, to the Metal Nerdery Podcast with zero anesthesia and 100% total and complete
anesthesia.
Absolute bullshit. We have the Billiam.
What's up?
We have the Russell.
Hey, everybody.
And we have the Wheeler. Hey, Wheeler. And, I think it's time for this episode's Clinky of the Episode. Uh-oh. Ooh, we got to change up.
Captain Morgan Cherry Vanilla.
Ooh.
You're getting a little fancy.
That's kind of fancy. I'm digging
a
it.
little fancy.
Kind of like it, Billy. He's breaking out in some new boxes.
With a Coca-Cola.
I bet that's
it's
dandy.
fantastic.
Yeah,
it's probably fan-fucking-tastic.
Now,
as a shot, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Lovely and talented Doro just got this today.
Love that Doro.
I had a little snippet earlier.
Oh, yeah? And?
Robitussin much?
Okay.
Cool. So it's got hallucinogens in it?
Right.
And I have a cough, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's health food kind of.
Right.
And it's got fruit. It's got fruit in it.
It's good for you. Drink this if you get
Likely
COVID.
with Coca-Cola beverage, it would be
amazing with some ice.
Slight tasty, yes.
All right. To Robitussin.
All right. Cheers, fellas.
Here we go.
Out with the bad spirits. Okay.
Yeah, it tastes like cough syrup.
Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I like it.
The vanilla finish is,
yeah,
that's good shit.
Hopefully my placebo effect will kick in like 30 minutes and be like, oh, man, that feels like codeine. That's great. Maybe not.
Wow, it
I got
tastes
warm.
just like it.
It tastes like cough medicine.
Yeah. I got warm from that.
It's not like the terrible cough medicine.
No, it's
with
the good
Coke,
stuff.
With a Coke, that would be really good, though.
Yeah, it would be. And I think that's what they were going for because there is a cherry vanilla Coke.
Sure.
Yeah.
And everybody knows people order Captain and Coke. Yep. So now I want a Captain
and
Vanilla Cherry Coke.
Yeah.
That's
Captain Cherry Coke. That sounds kind of like a lesser Captain and Coke, doesn't it?
This is limited edition.
Oh, you should open the bottle. It's going to be worth something.
Yeah, probably not.
I've never understood that. I mean, like, what the fuck are you buying if you get something that's like, oh, it's limited edition, you never took it out of the package? But I'm saying if you get it and it's like, you never took it out of the package, well then, did you get it just to say you have it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Collection, sir.
But, like, I'm never going to go buy if I ever get super crazy, when I get super crazy rich, I'm going to go buy like a $50,000 guitar and just look at it. Well, not going to play it. It's going to sit in a glass case with climate control. And
same thing.
There are people out there
different.
that are pretty smart, and they know when something like, say, a toy, a specific toy or action figure or something like that.
I get some of that, but
they'll buy, one for the kids to play with, one for the closet.
That's right.
Yeah, my parents didn't think of that.
Time.
But no, my point I'm trying to make is I had, and I've looked up the worth of some of the toys I had when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, for sure. The G.I. Joes.
Fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars and G.I. Joe.
I had Star Wars.
Star Wars shit's crazy.
And He-Man.
He-Man. Yeah. I had the whole fucking Castle Grayskull. I had the whole deal. That shit's worth a lot of money. I had these wrestling guys, the WWF.
Oh, yeah.
A Junkyard Dog and Hulk Hogan and all that. Brother. I still have the Hulk Hogan, but it's so worn. Brother. I mean, it's like rough looking, but if it was in good condition, it's like a $400 toy,
Hulk Hogan's got a new death metal album coming out. You know what it's called?
Brother. Nice. Oh, I like that thing you posted on our page, the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to tell you guys about that. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking rad.
I want to see the movie now.
Yeah.
I have to see the movie.
Well, now he's coming out with a whole fucking album. He's going to do a whole album. I forget the name.
It's a soundtrack on the movie.
It's for the movie, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, what is it?
Have you seen
Studio 666.
Yeah, I know, but the name of the band, it's something Widow something, but there's going to be an album that Dave's going to do that's a thrash death metal album.
The trailer for the movie looks hilarious.
It does look good,
King's in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like a roadie.
Yeah.
It's like doing load-in and shit. It's fucking
great.
rad.
It's going to be great.
That Dave Grohl.
It might have to be
a
Metal Nerdery field trip to go see that movie.
Oh, yeah. We could do a whole little episode on that. Yeah, maybe. So,
is it in major theaters or is it just like limited release?
I think
or
it
coming
was
soon.
It's coming out in March. I do know that. I don't know if it's a theater release or if it's like a Prime or a Netflix or I'm not sure what it is.
Shit. February 24th.
Ooh.
Released everywhere?
At the Mall of, anyway.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey now.
So, in other words, everywhere.
Yeah. So beverages at the Buffalo Wild Wing, and then the movie.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Perhaps an Uber, perhaps an Uber and a crash pad somewhere will be required.
But we can, Bill and I can bring the wives, and Matthew can bring the
his hand.
I got both hands.
Blow-up
It'll
doll.
be
blow up doll.
I'll have all my bitches with me, left and right. That's what I'm saying.
Ristina and her five
Ristina
and her 5 sisters. Yeah. Word.
Little sisters.
Yes, sir.
Very.
So, without any further ado, I think we should go into this episode's
beer of the episode.
Fucking A, I'm so sorry, Russell. I forgot to give you the sequel to this episode. This episode's beer of the episode.
Freaking idiot. Hold on.
I told you I spent it with my uncle in Alaska hunting wolverines.
Fucking Wolverines, bro. All right. So this episode's beer of the episode.
Sorry, I got the piano in my head.
All right, shut up, Matt.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Rob.
Fucking exhausting.
I'm off-putting too. I apologize. It's fine.
This episode's beer of the episode is brought to us by the wonderful people at Pontoon Brewing. This is in Sandy Springs, Georgia. We have gone through quite a few of their beverages here in our
Hail to them.
what's this studio called?
Oh, our 33rd floor inverted underground bunker Poon studios.
Thank you.
Lounge. We're in the lounge area
This
right
is the
now.
lounge area?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we go into the studio to actually record, but we're drinking now, so it's the lounge. So.
See.
Yeah. So honestly, I really didn't go crazy on the album cover on this, but it does have the word sour and huge. Like you can see that from across the store. And it's the Snozberries edition, which I'm a big.
It sounds like a made-up vegetable.
No, it's
or
from
fruit or something.
what is it?
Fruity
Willy
Pebbles.
Wonka, right?
Yeah.
The
Willy Wonka.
Snozberries
Yeah.
taste like Snozberries.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to get this. It's another, local brewery, and
I've already cracked mine open, so.
well, let me go ahead and describe it. What it says on the album cover is a Berliner style Weiss with black currant, black cherry, raspberry, vanilla, and lactose. I
So
love
if
that
you're
they have to add
intolerant-
the lactose.
Well, for the intolerant people, they have to know.
This one's only 6% alcohol by volume, so this is a good way to finish. But let's give it the crack here.
Yeah, I cracked it open earlier, and boy, it's sour. I feel like my salivary glands come every time I drink that, just everywhere.
Yeah, this is it is just straight sour. I mean, there's some of the previous episodes we had the Puff Tart, which had like a sweet kind of marshmallowy finish.
Yeah, enjoyable.
This thing is just
Pleasurable.
like pucker up buttercup. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So if you want to make balloon knot face, this is the beer for you.
yeah. So well, it's good, and if you like sour, it's really good.
That
So
was from Russell, by the way, the burp.
liar.
It totally was. I was watching you do it, dude. I couldn't talk and burp at the same time. I'm not a magician that way yet.
So anyway, hells to you, Pontoon
Practicing.
Brewing.
Yes, thank you.
Sandy Springs, Georgia. We do enjoy your beers, and we would like for you to send us some. So we're going to hashtag you, and we're going to share you.
And you can email us if you'd like to at metalnerdery@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail and tell us that you'd like us to sell your beer for money at 980-666-8182. By the way, do we have any voicemail, Billiam?
As a matter of fucking fact.
Indeedly.
It's your friendly neighborhood, I suppose.
Yes.
Sorry, my dog has a squeaky toy, if you can hear that. You're putting together a supergroup. Who's in it?
Ooh,
That's my question.
that's a great question.
That almost gets too, that could get almost too technical with, okay, live or dead. And if they're gone, then it could be anybody.
I've got mine already. If it is, yeah.
And go.
Guitar vocals, James Hetfield.
Okay.
Lead guitar, Dimebag Darrell.
Nice
Drums, Dave Lombardo. And on bass, I'd have Cliff Burton.
That sounds pretty fucking good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Only other thing I might change with that would be having Phil at the old...
Oh, vocals.
Yeah.
The vocal helm.
Maybe James on rhythm.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
God, there's so many good ones, so many good combinations you can put together.
Yeah, that alone would be...
I mean, Tom Araya vocal too would always be
let's just make this the whole episode.
Right.
Everybody come up with your top 5 supergroups. No, that... I think the mixture of James and Dimebag, because Dimebag did all the harmony stuff himself on the thing, but if he had James following him up with some of those harmonies,
that would be sick. I mean, just thinking about that now, that would be a fucking ridiculous matchup.
And watching them fist fight over who writes the riffs, I mean, that would be fucking awesome too. Because
I don't think it'd be a fist fight. It'd be more like a shot competition. It's like, line them up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought the riffs were great when it was just Pantera.
Right.
Yeah. Can you imagine those
like
two
another
together?
level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen pictures out there, like pre-show or after-party pictures of like Dime and James in the same room, and it's almost like how did that camera not explode from being in the presence of so much greatness?
Such greatness, yeah.
And on the bass?
Cliff for me.
Sick Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
Maybe Steve. I don't know. Steve Harris.
I don't know. Even Geezer on the bass would be cool.
Geezer would be
badass. Yeah. Wow, that's difficult, man.
It is.
See, in a weird way, I was almost kind of going sort of the same idea, but older. Like I literally got hung up one time we did the Zeppelin.
Talk about John
Inside the
Bonham
Metal
and Sabbath.
Yeah, I was thinking about John Bonham and Sabbath.
Yeah.
Which would be sick. I mean, it would be Sabbath, not to take anything away from Bill Ward, but it would just be the power of John Bonham powering Sabbath.
Bill Ward was a great jazzy type drummer. I mean, he was
more
awesome,
speedy.
But yeah.
Bonham had the power and the heaviness. That's
for sure.
And maybe I might throw in like some, I don't know, fuck it. I was going to say Don Airy.
Okay.
Keyboards, because he did all the old keyboards like Planet Caravan.
See, I didn't even
Air Dance and stuff like that.
I didn't even go keyboards.
And the singer?
I don't know. In a way, I almost might want to say Dio, not to take Ozzy out of the mix, but
I'm
vocal wise, I kind of feel like that would be for that era. If we're doing the same for that era, fuck. Now I want to do like it could be like here's what we could do. Future episode idea. We could like take the same concept and just play like different tunes by each of the members of our fantasy band.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the era. Like if it was the era now.
Yeah.
I might have to say Maynard.
Like the modern day?
As a vocal.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What
about Gitters?
God.
Sorry, that was me.
I don't know, man.
It's going to smell like burger.
Burger? Did you have a burger?
Not ginger burger. I had a Culver's burger. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's too difficult.
So broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do, I mean, that could be a whole fucking episode.
Dimebag was so fresh because we recently did the reinventing the metal.
And it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
It was. I've been listening to it all week. It's just...
Yes. It's gold, Jerry, gold.
I can't get enough of it.
I was going between that and Far Beyond. I was listening to a lot of Far Beyond last week.
So you were toggling, as it were?
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking A. How about we get into today's docket?
All right, so there's Tough Guy. What are we talking about?
Fucking A. Let's talk about the, you know what? You know what I'm going to call it? I'm going to call it what everybody else knows it as, and it's known as... the album before the Black Album.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. So fucking predictable now. Oh,
that would be.
I thought I was waiting for him to say the pre-Black Album, but whatever.
That works too. I'm good. I can go with both. No, we're talking about Injustice for All, the album.
Thank you.
Which for a lot of Metallica folks is, like I didn't know until recently that there are Iron Maiden people in the world that only like those first two Iron Maiden albums and nothing else. This is kind of like, in a way, this is kind of like Metallica's Killers.
Huh?
For those people who are like only Iron Maiden fans of the first two albums. And Justice for All is the final Metallica album the early Metallica fans were a fan of.
Yeah.
After this,
Okay.
was gone.
Okay.
That's hence. Sorry,
That was a stretch, but okay.
It was big. It was.
I was trying to put it together with
Sorry, I
the
got
whole
all
cliff
earthful.
thing.
Well, in terms of like like there's
Paul
people who
Di'Anno.
are Iron Maiden fans who only dig Paul Di'Anno Maiden, and they don't
Right.
like Dickinson Maiden.
Right.
They don't like any Dickinson in their Maiden.
How dare they?
I mean, it's possible. So in this case, it's definitely post-Cliff Maiden, but it's or not Maiden. Let me back up. It's post-Cliff Metallica, but it's pre-Black Album Metallica.
I don't feel very good.
I'm sorry, but I had to say it.
Anyway.
Or as others would say, it's the last great Metallica album.
There you go. There's that.
And
Just kidding.
I would say this is the first Metallica I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Ironically, with a new bass player
No
and
way.
zero bass.
Of all that stuff you had earlier,
I think
this is
well, I heard this, and then I may be mistaken, dude. There was a lot of relaxers in that time of my
it's
life.
the 80s. It's high school.
And
Childhood.
most of those relaxers had three letters in the name. And
yeah, but that was later on.
Those are kind of anti-relaxers, actually.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
That was 8th grade, 9th grade, hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It seems like you would have been on the Metallica train at that point.
Well, it started. Really, my Metallica train started the summer between 8th and 9th grade. Yeah.
So
That's when we started playing
six-ish,
at Tommy's
seven-ish?
house. Was the summer between 8th and 9th grade is when we first started Voltage, right?
Right.
My first band. And Tommy was already listening to Metal Church and Metallica and stuff like that.
So it was mixing.
Right. But I don't remember listening to anything before I heard the song One. I think. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be confusing it. No, I'm wrong. Because I remember hearing Seek and Destroy and the Four Horsemen and maybe Master of Puppets.
Yeah, because you were probably already playing that once Voltage kind of started. You probably heard it and listened to it, and because
when we first started, we were playing Jimi Hendrix and Zeppelin, and I think like the newest song we played was like "It's So Easy" by GNR. You know, it was
Guns N' Roses, by the way.
Yeah, but it was mostly.
Hold on. Did Mixon play that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm going to have to, sorry, I'm going to insert the Alex ooh of disapproval. I feel like, nah. It's the
maybe
Alex.
he wasn't there yet. No, I think he started right when we all started.
No, it's the Alex nah, son, of disapproval. Ooh, nah, son.
I may be wrong. You know what? Like I said, there was so much LSD.
I'm so sad I didn't even do that till I got to college, which ironically is when you
Lucy
should
in the
do
Sky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
With diamonds.
Yeah, with diamonds.
Lysergic.
And that was started at late. It was about 15-ish. But anyway.
You know, it's funny. I felt like an old man the first time I ever did it. I was like 22. I felt old.
Mark the time.
I felt, yeah.
I just remember when this came out, it was like, it was life-changing for me.
I was confused.
Yeah, God, I'm trying to put things in order in my head right now, and I really can't.
The first time I heard it
time.
was at Mixon's house.
Yeah.
And he was playing. I was like, this isn't Metallica. They don't have a new one out.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I just, it was one of, not that I quote unquote couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I was,
Was it sound wise, or were you just thinking, no, they don't have a new album?
No, just because I had heard the other stuff.
Right.
And then I just wasn't, I guess, being a little kid, I just wasn't expecting a brand spank one, and he had it and whatnot. So, yeah.
My biggest beef about it to this day, well, there's two, and I got into the album.
Why you got to beef it?
The bass thing.
It's okay. It's not just that. So I got this. So before I got this is 88. So in 86, I got Puppets. That was my first Metallica purchase.
That was mine too.
And then I went backwards. I got Lightning, and then I got Kill 'Em All, and of course anything and everything I heard, I'd grab it or whatever.
Mark the time.
Indeed. So when this came out, there was already kind of that progression, not necessarily with Kill 'Em All, but like with Lightning, you had the intro to Fight Fire with Fire, and then of course with Puppets, you had Battery. So I was expecting like a soft intro, acoustic style.
Mm-mm.
And tack onto that we'd already heard Garage Days, and I was like, fucking A, man, if Garage Days was recorded in some shithole garage somewhere, and they, not produced and not very produced by Metallica. Remember that? That was the logo on Garage Inc.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so if they half-ass that, this thing's got to sound even better than Puppets. And then I put it on, and so immediately I heard the backward guitars at the beginning. I'm like, okay, that's not like a soft intro. I was kind of disappointed by that, but I was like, all right, well,
You didn't think
wait.
the production was like way over the top, loud, and
I thought
awesome?
No, what happened is when I heard it, I was like, okay, when Blacken started the song, I was like, okay, it's building up. And I could tell initially it was just guitars and drums. I was like, it's okay, this is going to fucking blow my head off when the bass kicks in. And I waited.
No, you didn't.
No. I was literally like, this sounds really anemic.
you heard it on the wrong system.
I heard it, dude. I heard it in headphones, and I was like, where is the bass? Because I was listening, I was like,
I didn't even know about the whole bass thing until way later.
It was very obvious to me.
Here's why
you can hear you can hear bass.
You don't hear the bass guitar.
The bass guitar, but you can hear bass.
But it's more like the guitar is just woofing, like the speakers just whoop, whoop,
and it was like if they had turned up the bass, it would have been too much.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We had a friend, and I don't think this is why they did this, but we had a friend named Ravi. Ravi had a badass Mustang GT, the old Fox body, late 80s.
Yeah.
Right. And that thing was full of speakers. And he had like the most kick-ass system at school. And he was friends with the lay guy and all those guys. Ravi would take like me and Mixon, or, we'd go for rides. And that album in his car was the best sounding metal album I've ever heard in my life. And it was because of the frequency going into those. He had those, he had Rockford Fosgate.
I remember those
15-inch speakers. It sounded like a fucking concert in his car. And the mix of that album sounded different than any heavy metal album.
Oh, for sure.
Like, he always listened to the rap stuff, the LL Cool J and all that shit. It had a lot of bass in it. But that album and Justice for All on a system like that, somehow it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it had tons of bass. And when, the click of the triggers that Lars used for his kick drum, it just drilled you in the back. It was like you were getting where those speakers were back there. It was like somebody punching you in the back every time that fucking thing came.
I remember consistently, because I love the album for the song content and everything. Yeah. I mean, everything about it, and I grew to love it. The mix was always a sore spot for me because I was like,
that is so weird, man.
I mean, I could hear the bass very subtly on like the clean parts, but I'm like, it's way the fuck down in the mix. I'm like, what the fuck did y'all do to the bass?
I can't believe you don't hear bass when you.
Not like, it's not as audible. It's audible like in spots where there's subtlety, but it's so low. Like if you go back and listen to Puppets or Lightning or Kill 'Em All, you can hear bass in there.
But when you crank this up on, like Russ said, on a good system,
it'll blow the windows out.
Yeah, I mean, it's bassy as shit.
But it's not.
It's not bass guitar.
It doesn't sound mixed. I mean,
it's not bass guitar.
But see, to me, that's different. That's
right,
very
it's
different.
Not bass guitar, but it's
because you can wolf out
like
the low end
on my phone
and fucking V scoop your guitars and the EQ and shit. But that doesn't give it bass. It's just okay. It's got a bassy sound. But I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They could have recorded this album and just left Newstead off, and it really wouldn't have made a difference. Maybe that's the unpopular opinion. Man, you're fucking stupid. It's terrible. It's like, well, it's true. If you pretty much masked his bass sound, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. Because
now you make me want to go get a system like
competing.
that and just crank up the album.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I know what everybody says.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I grew to love the album. It's just, to me, it's just, after hearing Garage Days, I could not believe that was produced the way it was produced. I was horrified.
Well, it was
overproduced.
Like relative to Garage Days, yeah, it's like double.
Well, but I mean, Garage Days actually had some breathing room to it. I mean, this was like very
produced.
It was kind of like it was very produced, but it was like,
that's what I'm saying.
It almost sounded like it was too compressed or something. I mean, it was still a killer album, but the whole bass thing was just that.
How about this? I understand what you're saying, but on the right system, this album sounds amazing to me.
I mean, I would definitely say listen to it through headphones because you can hear it more subtly during the headphones.
I need some fucking 15-inch subwoofer. I'm telling you, in that guy's
15-inch what?
Subwoofers.
Subwork? Oh, I need some 15-inch
in Ravi's car, that album was amazing. Oh my God, when it got to the double bass part, I swear I thought his windows were going to break. The whole car is just
right.
It's
well, that album has a very concussive quality too, like something about the mids and the highs,
and that's why I think the bass guitar didn't work in the frequency in the mix, because the way the drums were recorded and the way the guitar, very low end guitar on a lot of that stuff. So much of that.
What was that whole scooped out frequency thing? I mean, that's just you eat up all those frequencies and it just disappears in the mix.
Yeah.
That's what James spoke to Guitar World about,
and he did, and that was a big difference between Jason and Cliff, where Jason really played a lot of the same things they were playing.
His style was different. I mean, he was a pick player for one, and then of course he would usually mimic.
Yeah, he was doubling what they were playing,
mimic what they were doing.
Yeah,
and to that point, I mean, there are parts, and even to Bill's point, where you can hear a little bit of bass like in the ether, in between, but it's still, to me, I was still kind of like, there needs to be more bass in here. Where's the fucking bass?
Well, what I'm saying is, in the whole album, the low end is there.
It's just not bass guitar.
It's just not bass guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
But the bass is there, meaning the low end.
The low end.
On the right, but you can't just listen to it on like a small radio.
If you go back and listen, there's a version.
Yeah, you put it on a good system and it sounds fucking killer.
It cranks.
There's a version of this, or at least Blackened, I think, where they went back and somebody producified it and just made their own version and jacked up the bass.
Right.
Oh, I've heard.
And
it
gives it like a killer fucking aggro kind of vibe. It's definitely different than what we're used to. But it's almost so subtle. It's like they could have brought it up just a fucking touch more.
I've heard the whole album redone, and about 10 years ago, when we had the or a little bit longer actually, we had the Nintendo Wii, and you had the Guitar Hero games come out, right? Yeah. Well, Guitar Hero came out with a Metallica version, and also the Rock Band games, you could do the same thing. Somebody figured out how to take these discs from the games and put them in a computer, because when you're playing Guitar Hero, they have multi-tracks of those songs on there, right?
I think so.
So
or Rock Band might.
I think what a lot of the bands didn't realize is whenever they did these video games, that those tracks were going to go out as multi-tracks, and people could figure out a way to run them through their system and remix it. Right. And somebody took the Metallica version of the Guitar Hero, and they found the bass guitar in there, and they jacked it up, and you can find it on YouTube where you can actually hear the fucking bass guitar.
Jacked off the bass. That's awesome.
Dude, I will tell you, I was so glad when those came out, because we were doing the covers. I found this whole just database of tracks from all the Rockstar games. It made it so easy to learn guitar parts and bass parts and stuff for cover bands.
Cheat codes.
Yeah, well, it was all right there, and you could isolate. You could isolate all the guitars, all the vocals. It was,
oh wow!
Oh, it was great. Yeah. The coolest one I found, there was a Beatles version
of
one of those games.
Oh, okay.
Right, but it was like 40 Beatles tracks with multi-tracks, like 12 tracks that you could.
Time to go find John Paul, George, and Ringo and play some songs.
But in the like some of the songs in the recordings, you're listening to A Day in the Life, and you can hear them having conversations in the background in the studio. You can hear them laughing and
that's
shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool shit. Yeah. So anyway, back to what we're doing.
Yeah, I'll be excited to actually listen to this. You know what? I kind of wondered. I thought about this because I think Metallica ended up getting back all the. Since they've been around forever now, I think they got back all their masters. I think they own their own shit, because I think Blackened Recordings is everything that they release through now, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder, they've done some reissues over the years. I don't know if they remastered stuff and brought up the bass, or Not that it matters. I'm not going to harp on that the whole time. Bill's like, don't say bass again.
I think we're
You're
about 20
banished.
minutes into the bass guitar right now.
The bass guitar room. There is no bass guitar room. The funny thing I always thought that was funny is this album was recorded at One-on-One Studios, which is also where they recorded the Black Album. And they sound completely different.
So they recorded 2 covers to get comfortable with the mix.
Brett Fan.
That would be Brett Fan.
Brett Fan and the Prince.
Yeah.
Budgie did Brett Fan, and Diamond Head did the Prince. Brett Fan. See, now I want some bread.
Ultimately, they had some differences in opinions of how the recording process would go. The drummer was hoping for this album to take Metallica to a larger... What the fuck? Who wrote this?
Probably whatever intern is running the harp.
Well, it just said that Lars was a huge fan of Appetite.
Right. And that's who they got to produce it.
Did it just come out and it says Hetfield wasn't a giant fan of their debut, I guess, at the time?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, comparing Guns N' Roses to Metallica just sort of sounds like, is that really a good?
Oh, so they fired him, so he didn't produce it.
Right. And they called Rasmussen
back.
It's because he's a fucking gun pirate. He had to fucking come back and fix everything that other guy fucked up. Hey, guys, it's Lars. What did y'all think when you first heard To Live Is To Die? Because that was like one of the final, I guess, credits that Mr. Burton was given credit on.
I mean, I like the whole album.
Lines. I mean, I love it too, but it
wasn't.
Like, when I heard it was odd to me.
If I had to get rid of one song, it would be One, just because
overplayed.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think that's one of the best fucking heavy metal songs ever written. Just me.
Yeah. I can't. I've heard it so many times, and there's so many other.
But you know what? Something about that song, and even with Guns N' Roses to a degree, I have this gift, and maybe I need to be in the music production business. I love the helmet. That's not the reason, but
sorry.
It's like I can pick out songs, and it's like I'll hear a song and be like, fucking, I love that fucking song. Like it becomes my favorite song on the album, and then it blows up, and then it becomes this huge epical thing. Almost everything on Guns N' Roses was like that, Appetite for Destruction, but with One, when I heard One before it was ever a video, before they played the Grammys, it lost to Jethro Tull, before all that shit happened, I heard One and I thought, this is fucking genius all the way through.
I watched
and then Grammys. It was like, play it all the time, and I was like, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, I'll always love that song. And I watched a Grammys performance of that the other day on the YouTube.
With the Cut This Shit Off From Me reference?
Where there's a moment where they look so nervous for like the first couple of minutes. Of
nervous how? Like nervous, like, holy fuck, I hope we don't fuck this up kind of nervous?
Like nervous, like, why the fuck are we here? We're a thrash metal or heavy metal band.
Oh, like basically, they just didn't belong?
They made his... there was nobody else like them that played.
That's true. That's true. When they played the Grammys for the first time, that was...
But there's a moment where it looks like James gets like pissed or almost possessed. It's a great moment in the video, and you can watch it. His demeanor and his face and everything changes, and you can read his lips. He says like "fuck this," and it was right when they start getting heavy,
right?
And they all just look like they all fed off of him, like Kurt, everybody.
I think I better know what some of that was. I have a feeling some of that was probably. Because think about it, if you're, as a performer, you get into your zone when you do. It's kind of like with comedy. You can't, if you're a normal just comic and sometimes you riff and have profanity.
Yeah.
If you got to do a clean show, there's pressure to not fuck up and say the wrong thing.
Right.
They're probably thinking the same way because they're thinking when they play, they're used to playing for their audience.
Right.
And they can relax and be themselves. This is TV.
Yeah, this is a bunch of people in tuxedos.
And on some level, I'm sure they were kind of
yeah.
like... We want to make a good impression. Maybe he reached a point of, you know what, fuck it, we're
doing
hampering our
thing.
performance
Yeah.
by trying to impress these fucks. Let's just be ourselves. And maybe that was the point where it changed.
But if y'all go back and watch that, you'll see the moment I'm talking about.
Was that the Grammy performance?
It was the Grammy performance, and it becomes crystal clear. Like at that moment, everybody else just in the band just started.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They were
I feel
with
like
him,
I watched
and
it
they
one
just
time
started
and
killing it. Like it just got really good.
Almost
at that
like the
point.
vibe kind of became like, all right, fuck it, boys. We're going to just be ourselves and just do this.
Let's do us.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Indeed.
That was cool.
Platinum and more platinum. Doris. Okay, so Doris was the blind lady justice. This is an article from loudwire.com, Metallica and Justice for All facts.
Yeah. I knew they made it when this album came out, and we were forced to have a PE class, and in weight training, people were listening to this out. Jocks, the football players, were listening to Injustice for All in the weight room. That's when you knew shit was changing. That's when you knew
it was getting big. It was like, okay,
shit was changing.
Kind of different.
Yeah.
I still love the tape. I mean, I wore that fucking tape out. I literally wore off all the print on the cassette to the point that if I didn't put it back in the actual case, I would not know what tape I had, because I wore off both sides from flipping it in and out of my Walkman.
Oh,
that's right. I said it.
I had the yellow one.
Walkman.
The sports version.
I had like some cheap, it was like GPX.
Oh, the first one I got was like a Sears model. It wasn't a real version. Sony Walkman. Yeah.
It might have been something I shoplifted from Kmart way before that. I don't know.
8-time platinum.
That's all?
That's all.
Shit.
8 million copies.
Metallica could record themselves farting and mix all the bass out of it, and it would still go platinum.
Not before this came out. Not when this came out.
No, probably not.
They could now. But.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so looks like Mike Klink did the drum engineering on The Shortest Straw and Harvester of Sorrow. That's interesting. This is the wiki.
As much shit as Lars catches.
Lars Ulrich.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Lars Ulrich. I weigh like 679 pounds.
For his drum work. This album was some sick drum work. I mean, there was a lot of cool shit done on the drums on this album. And I don't know if he played these songs straight through or if they were like cutting and pasting or.
Well, they recorded for like 8 months, I think. So
they played live. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. But stuff like in The Shortest Straw and Freight Ends of Sanity. I mean, there's some wild drum shit going on. Or
this
even
was
Justice
easily,
for All.
Yeah.
I mean, this album was the most technical of any Metallica album.
They're most prog.
It's the most progressive. Yeah. It's the most technical. I mean, this one's got crazy changes to it.
It's probably my number 2. I would say Masters is my number 1. This is probably my number 2.
I mean, I love this one. I'm so conflicted with it because I do love the album, and of course the mix thing's irritating. But it's like the progness of it. It's like that's almost sort of the redemption factor for me.
Yeah,
because this one's so fucking prog, man. It's like it's got all the elements.
God damn! I mean, God, I can't wait to start listening. This is I'm like fired up. I'm thinking like Dyer's Eve. I'm like, God, it's so fucking.
But this is literally like
fucking chunky guitar.
This might be the almost sort of the blossoming of like progressive thrash in a way. Not to say that. Yeah, well, I guess I can't think Forbidden kind of came out after, but I mean, this was the most progressive.
I was about to say I cannot think of a more progressive thrash album before this, for sure.
Before '88.
Yeah, progressive.
Puppets was pretty progressive, but not this progressive.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the most. This was almost like Metallica's Hemispheres. It's like this is the most progressive thing that Metallica, and that's the thing. They couldn't have done another album like this, or would have been a double album.
Long as fuck.
Yeah,
they're long as shit.
Yeah. But that was another departure with this one versus Puppets. Like Puppets was the easy, 4-4 on each side of the cassette, and the songs were kind of proggy. But
the shortest song is 5:14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the fastest. I don't know. I wonder if it's faster than the Killer opener. Pardon me. God, it's right there.
You all right, bro?
Yeah, it's fine. It's a burger.
You good?
It's not the ginger burger. It's a different burger.
Onion burger.
Well, let's start this shit.
Let's fucking do it.
Damn.
Word.
All right. It's House of Snakes, but standard tuning. I'm just kidding. It's blackened.
Just shut up and can you not just enjoy something?
I can enjoy it.
Damn.
I'm not going to shut it down.
No, you're not. But you can enjoy it. Take it for what it is and enjoy it.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I can hear the bass in the background.
Exactly. So shut up, shutting up.
Hello, everybody. This is Gazer, the butler. You're listening to Metal Nerdery. Go buy their shit at metalnerdery.com/merch. I've got to go get Millie some more pasta sauce. You can also go to metalnerdery.com/episodes. podcast or whatever the fuck it's called today.
Right.
But now I gotta go write some songs and resurrect John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Anyway.
I think it's the nuts in my mouth that made me forget.